Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Thomas. You're watching ABC10 Tonight. We're getting a first look at renderings of Sacramento State's proposed football stadium. We talked to the athletic director to learn more about the project. Plus, the co-founder of a tiny home builder who has been in hot water for not finishing projects has filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. What we know. And we're answering a voter-submitted question ahead of the November election. ABC10 Tonight starts now. Well, Sacramento State has been on a roll, making some pretty big athletic announcements as the campaign for the Pac-12 conference continues. These new stadium renderings are proof of it. They were just released last night. Also, the NCAA announced Sacramento again will be hosting rounds of March Madness with Sac State as the host. ABC10's Devin Truby joins us live and talk about some exciting times, huh, Devin?
Oh, absolutely, Chris. So much is happening here at Sac State to raise the athletic profile of not just the university, but for the city as a whole. I spoke with the athletic director today about the new stadium, some concerns from students, and the overall financial impact as a whole for the city of Sacramento. New renderings revealed for Sacramento State Hornets Stadium, designed by Populous, the same group responsible for Oracle Park and the Safe Credit Union.
But shortly after the season, we'll be getting to work to determine a timeline, construction schedule. We obviously have spring and track and field meets and everything in the spring. So obviously we will be working with Populous over the next couple weeks to determine exactly when we can start bulldozing it.
While there's no official timeline, Sac State Athletic Director Mark Orr said he'd love to see football, along with rugby, soccer, and other sports, play there by 2026. If you look closely at the design, the new Hornet Stadium will not have a track. Instead, they'll upgrade an existing facility with brand new track and seating. Many students are wondering if they're paying for all of this, or if their student fees will be impacted.
Funds that are being dedicated to these projects are not coming from the university's general funds. These are funds that are dedicated to athletics through philanthropic gifts or corporate sponsorships or designated athletic revenues.
Orr says student tickets will continue to be free even with the new stadium, even if they move to a different conference, and student fees are locked in for the next 3 years. Also this week, Golden One Center said if Sac State moves to a bigger conference, the Hornets can share the court with the Kings. The NCAA also announced Golden One Center with Sac State will host games in March Madness in 2026 for the women and 2027 for the men.
Estimates were, about $9.5 million in economic impact, more than 11,000 hotel room nights.
The hope is with all of these announcements, this will help Sacramento's sports profile, making it easier for Sac State to join another conference and the city to continue to draw large events. Now, the athletic director wanted to be very clear. Sacramento State is very happy in the Big Sky Conference, and this new stadium is happening no matter what conference they'll be playing in. Now, the offer to play in Golden One for basketball, that's more conditional on moving to a bigger conference. If that doesn't happen, Sac State hopes maybe they could play some specialty exhibition games now that that offer is open from the Golden One Center. Now, they would transport students to basketball games if they end up moving off campus to the downtown Golden One Arena. Reporting live from Sac State, Devin Truby, ABC 10.
Our Devin Truby live for us tonight with all the developments there. And listen to this, at 1:30 this afternoon, Devin interviews Sac State Athletic Director Mark Orr live on the streaming ABC 10 Plus app. To go deeper on this, we know, controversial stadium plan, you can see the full interview there. It's right on the home screen and the raw video section.
We start tonight with continuing coverage following hundreds of abandoned housing projects. This week, the co-founder of Anchored Tiny Homes filed for bankruptcy. And tonight, ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen shares what this means for people hoping to get the money that they are owed. Right, Jeannie?
Well, Alex, the experts tell me this bankruptcy filing is very clear. It means that Anchored Tiny Homes wants to be discharged from any and all debt that is owed. Now, as my reporting has shown, homeowners, subcontractors, and former employees believe that they're owed a lot of money. There are still some things people can do in order to try to get some of that money back.
I mean, they've taken an awful lot of money, from individuals. I mean, what have they done with it? I've seen, 300,000, 200,000. I mean, where is the money gone?
It's a question that many homeowners, subcontractors, and former employees of Anchored Tiny Homes wants to know the answer to.
Where's the money?
This is very typical Chapter 7 case where the company simply wants to liquidate and not pay the creditors, unfortunately.
About 2 months after Anchored Tiny Homes announced its closure, the company's co-founder, Austin Paulus, filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Court records show the company owes more than $12.8 million and only has about $1.2 million in assets. While these numbers don't look good for people who are owed money, Linda Coco with the bankruptcy clinic at the McGeorge School of Law says those that are owed can file a claim with the courts.
They need to file a proof of claim in the case to have their claim and their identity recognized within the larger Chapter 7. They can file that down at the Eastern District of the Bankruptcy Court.
The filing lists nearly 90 pages of customers impacted by the company, with many of them showing they're owed only $1. ABC10 spoke to dozens of people who say they're owed way more than just $1.
Just under $4,000 for the first project and about $6,500 for the second.
Coco says the proof of claim is important when assessing what is owed.
It's just a placeholder. It doesn't mean anything at all. Your proof of claim, when the creditor files the proof of claim, will be the place where the creditor can detail.
The filing comes with a long list of assets, including a dog. Coco says Paulus is required to list all assets, but can exempt certain items like his pet. This list also includes properties and a new car, but Coco says it still won't mean much.
They certainly own some expensive properties, but there are large bank liens against them. So the equity amount that would go to the estate, less any exemptions, right, is going to be far reduced.
Ultimately, will anyone get all of their money back?
In full is not likely at all in this case by any stretch. Very small amounts more likely.
I've reached out to the company's CEO, Colton Paulus, and Austin Paulus's attorney for comment multiple times, who said we're not able to comment on this matter right now. Alex?
Is there anything that people can do in the meantime or while they're waiting for this case to move forward?
Well, Alex, there is a meeting of creditors, so that means people who believe that they are owed money, they can go to this meeting, and that meeting will be held on Monday, October 28th, virtually. All the details on how you can attend to that meeting will be posted on our website at abc10.com.
And these hotter temperatures come during what is typically a busy month on Apple Hill.
Yeah, ABC10's Alicia Machado spoke to a family-run orchard in Placerville about how the heat is impacting business.
A trip to Apple Hill is a fall tradition for many, folks flocking there for apple picking and apple treats.
We're going to have dessert for days, but I come up here for the apple donuts.
But this week it's feeling more like summer than fall.
It's too hot for October. There's a slight breeze, so it feels pretty good. If there was no breeze, then I'd be in my air-conditioned car.
Out at Abel's Apple Acres in Placerville, customers opting for an apple cider float instead of a typical hot cider or finding a spot out of the sun.
We've been trying to stay in the shade, so we're waiting for the fall weather.
Tyler Ames, whose grandmother has owned the business for more than 50 years, says the hotter temperatures have impacted foot traffic.
It slowed us down a little bit. We definitely feel it, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday when we were almost 100 degrees here. We saw a lot of slowdown.
Out in the orchards, Tyler says the apple trees are fine, but the heat means more upkeep.
Just with this heat, we have to keep the water on longer and water more often, where usually about this time we can start watering a lot less.
Abel's is open until December 22nd, but mid-October is their busiest time of year.
It's usually that fall weather that you get and the leaves start to fall, which drives people up here, especially in October.
Still, despite the heat, we found folks who came from out of state or continued on with planned trips out to Apple Hill.
We usually come in November, so we couldn't resist though. Everything apple, we love it.
And here's the deal. They do recommend coming earlier in the day to try and beat the heat. Their shops and others have frozen drinks as well to help folks cool off. They're hopeful the numbers will be back up this weekend. Okay, so let's bring in Carly now because I know we're waiting for the official numbers when it comes to temperatures as well.
Oh my goodness, it is brutal to be outside. Anything you want to have this weekend, they mentioned some ice cream and cool treats, do it.
Do it. You need that cool down. Unfortunately, it looks like we may be breaking more record temperatures with triple-digit heat. Again, the official numbers have not come out, but so far the highs already today at 104 and 105 in Modesto and Stockton, breaking records of 99 and 101 for this date. Now we're waiting again for the official numbers, but so far looks like they're beating it by as much as 3 to 4 degrees. 100 in Sacramento with 101 downtown. Again, not official. 101 in Marysville. But again, all these highs coming in now are already starting to beat the records for the day. As we look in the Big Mountain backyard right now, temperatures now at 98 in Sacramento at Sacramento Executive Airport. Stockton's at 104 now instead of 105. Modesto 103 with 100 Marysville, Tahoe at 79 degrees. Now we are tracking weather impact alert days for you now until Sunday. It looks as though Sunday we're still pushing 99 to 100 degree heat, and the impacts, of course, is hot and dry conditions, which of course could potentially cause fire concerns for us, as we've already talked about grass fires across the region today as well as yesterday. Now the need for you right now is just to take care of yourselves. AC, shade as much as possible, and hydration, of course, very important. Now as we take a look at the heat advisory in place, this is from Sacramento all the way down to the Central Valley with excessive heat, as well as heat advisories in place for Southern California. So far, National Weather Service issuing this until Saturday night, 11 p.m. Of course, this may be extended one more day. We'll have to wait and see. But the heat risk, as we take a look, most of the valley spots looking at moderate to major heat risk as we push along those foothills, and some zones could even see extreme heat risk. I mean, it just means it's hotter than it normally is in these areas this time of year. Doesn't necessarily mean these areas are going to be hotter than the valley. The valley is going to be definitely hot, near triple digits, but we are more used to that than some of the higher elevations that typically cool down this time of year. High pressure in place is still pushing that low a little further north. We want it to settle in for us so we can get some cooler air, but it's just not happening. Unfortunately, that high pressure will remain in place through the weekend. Looks as though the winds for the higher areas of the Sierra over the crest will be ramping up. So unfortunately, fire concerns there, as well as the northeast portion of the state, where we are looking at a red flag warning in effect. Now for the valley, light winds. We'll continue to see that through the weekend. Nothing major, but they are coming in out of the north. So of course, that's much drier conditions. Humidity there much lower when we get those winds coming in out of the north. And again, that also extends into Sunday. Some more strong winds out of the north. So that may again extend us for one more day where we're having that weather impact alert issued again for Sunday as well. Taking a look ahead, Friday, we're hot. You see that orange zone there. It continues to expand north. Saturday remains in place Sunday. And then finally by Monday, Tuesday, and toward next week, we finally get a little bit of a dip toward the following weekend, which should bring our temperatures down into those 80s. But again, tomorrow, another hot day in the upper 90s, about 93 though in Groveland, 101 potentially in Ione. Bay Area looking at temperatures near 80 degrees to 84 in Oakland, triple digits near Rio Vista and Vacaville at 99, pushing 100. And again, for the next 3 days out, Friday through Sunday, we will be pushing those triple digit temperatures. And just past that, finally, for that Monday, it looks as though we will get down to about 95 degrees with 90s and 80s, hopefully hanging on for next week as long as we can.
Wow, so far into the year, having to have concerns about people who don't have air conditioning, still a really dangerous time.
Yeah, dangerous, especially with these triple digits. We're just breaking records left and right.
James reached out to us with an election question. I'm guessing a lot of you have. He wanted to know just who actually does the counting. Thanks for asking, James. We can show you what it looks like in Sacramento, but the process is going to be pretty much the same in every county around California, and machines do a lot of the heavy counting work. All of that happens in a secure room on computers that are not connected to the internet. Inside the counting room, there's no way to tell who any ballot belongs to. Your name and your signature go on the envelope outside. That's getting checked before your ballot ever goes inside the counting room. The ballots work by bubbling in your votes, just like those Scantron tests we all loved in school. And if the machine finds any irregularity, say you skipped voting on some of the races, or you erased a bubble, filled in a different one instead, you drew a check mark instead of filling in the bubble, that's when human beings get involved. A pair of election judges, these are trained county election workers, they will look together at the issue that was flagged by the scanning machine. The two judges are not allowed to belong to the same political party, so it's always going to be one Democrat, one Republican, or one independent voter and a Republican or Democrat. They're going to follow the law to determine what the voter intended. They'll mark up a new ballot with the votes and send it back to the scanning machine. The scanner loads all of the votes into a counting computer, and the results sit there in that computer memory as raw data until after the last polls close on election night. Only at that time is the election office allowed to tell the computer to add up all the results. The polls will close at 8 p.m. election night. Usually we start to get those results about 15 or 30 minutes later.
Yes, you guys know what that music means. Hello to you all. I am Kevin John. It's Thursday night, so you know what that means. It's time to introduce you to our high school football Northwest Exteriors game of the week. And boy, do we have a good one on deck. ABC 10's Matt George has more of the preview on this game.
The Christian Brothers Falcons and Wood Creek Timberwolves both started the season 1-2 with some tough losses. Now they're both 2-0 in league. For the Falcons, the turnaround comes from complete team buy-in.
Last year, I think we didn't really we didn't fully buy into each other. Everybody was trying to get theirs in a sense. And then this year we were like, all right, we're going to lock in. We're going to do this for each other, the name on our shirts and just our brothers around.
As for the Timberwolves, communication has been the key to their success.
Before we started, when we were in preseason, we didn't really talk as much, We weren't communicating, and our coach always said a silent field is a loser's field. And so over these past 3 weeks when we've been on our win streak, we've been communicating a lot. So I think communication has been very key for us.
And both these squads are very familiar with one another, meeting on a big stage each of the last 2 seasons.
We've played them 2 years in a row. We played them playoffs 2 years ago, and we beat them by a touchdown. And yet last year they whooped our butt in the playoffs. They're a well-coached team. They have a big roster. They have a bunch of kids that play hard, so we're excited to play against them.
It's not like it's an unfamiliar foe, for us to be playing them. So we know that Coach Morlow does an amazing job down there with his team, and so we're going to see a very focused and a very gritty football team from them.
Friday night is homecoming at Wood Creek High School, and while the environment is one every player dreams of playing in front of, the Timberwolves' focus doesn't stray beyond the turf.
It's pretty loud, energetic, gets you going, but coach is always like, it's white noise, so stick to that, just focus on what's ahead of us, get to the end of the game.
Roseville residents, you now have a new food option. Chick-fil-A has opened their second location in the city.
That's right, and ABC 10's Candace Red was there when they opened the doors this morning and talked to some customers about why they're so excited.
There's a new Chick-fil-A in Roseville. It's on Blue Oaks Boulevard, and dozens of people waited early this morning for the doors to open.
Oh, I'm super excited. We love Chick-fil-A, and I like what they're all about as a company.
The restaurant has the basics, like a dine-in area, drive-through, carry-out, and food delivery. Now, with this new Chick-fil-A comes the creation of 80 jobs. Now, this is the second Chick-fil-A in the community. The other Chick-fil-A is on Pleasant Grove, which is about 3 miles away from here. Now, we spoke with people excited about this new location.
I'm actually 2 minutes away, so this one works out way better for me.
Do you typically go to Chick-fil-A? Are you a Chick-fil-A fan?
Yes. It's like my favorite fast food place. They have like a spicy chicken breakfast biscuit. That's what I want to get.
Chick-fil-A Blue Oaks celebrated the grand opening by giving back to the community. Well, the restaurant donated $25,000 to support Placer Food Bank. Now, usually when a new Chick-fil-A opens, the restaurant gives the first 100 customers free food. Now, instead of doing that, Chick-fil-A gave 100 unsung heroes free food for a year. We're talking about people who make an impact in our community. If you want to check out this new Chick-fil-A, it's open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. In Roseville, Candace Red, ABC 10.
Pilots and Pups, a local organization that helps transport animals out of overcrowded shelters or just a bad environment.
Yeah, you can help support them with their upcoming fundraiser. It's called Wags to Witches. And ABC 10's Marcus Allen is live at the Sacramento Executive Airport to tell us more about the event and the organization. And Mark, that is just such a beautiful sunrise behind you. I just had to point it out.
Yeah, gorgeous sunrise, but the temperature dipped. I'm not shaking, you're shaking. This is Ziggy, you guys. I don't know if you can tell, but Ziggy is vibrating. Feels like a back massager. Awesome. This is Kelly Benedict. She started Pilots and Pups, and what it's all about is pretty much just that, Pilots and Pups. There are shelters that are overcrowded. Where do you jump in?
Oh, well, the shelters are all overcrowded here in California, and so there's a rescue, there are many rescues that actually pull dogs from the shelters, and they fly them to either their, to fosters or to other shelters where they have a less overcrowding problem.
And what I love about it, you have a network of pilots, so there are multiple planes doing this all the time to help solve the problem.
Yeah.
And let's face it, a lot of these dogs that you're transporting, otherwise we're kind of on death row, as it were.
Yeah, many of them are on death row, right. So we have more pilots, and the pilots volunteer their time and their airplanes, and Pilots and Pups raises money for fuel.
Got it. It ain't cheap. You got to fuel these planes to get them where they need to go. There comes Wags to Witches. I love this. ABC10 was at the first annual last year. I love all the people that came out, not just the people with dogs and their costumes, but people just to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite the spectacle, you know, dogs in costumes and people in costumes, too.
Oh, a 5K run. I should point that out, too.
Oh, well, it's a run walk, yeah.
Got it.
So it's very casual, and you can actually do anything that's, it's a great run, great walk. And it's not like you have to, you know, we're not running a race.
Exactly.
It's more like just for fun.
Well, that's awesome. So if you want to be a part of it, sign up. It's Saturday the 12th. Where do they sign up?
They can go to pilotsandpups.org, and right there on the first page, just click sign up and register. And yeah, and oh, also there's a there's a promo code, ABC10. You get $10 off.
Awesome, and lots of valuable prizes being given away. We had to flip around because our light died because I only used recycled batteries. However, I'm going to say, be a part of this event, and camera guy Don would love to leave you with what you said you loved, and that's that beautiful sunrise. Questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah. Jordan has a question. She wants to know, A, do they take big dogs in the plane, and or how many dogs can they fit in the plane?
Be sure and zoom that back out. Do they take big dogs as well?
Oh, absolutely.
How many dogs?
Yeah, well, we can take as many as will fit in the plane, but based on payload. But yeah, big dogs, little dogs, we can just take more small dogs
There you
than
go.
big dogs. So,
I saw a video with at least 5 dogs being transported at once, so I saw up to 5. Meanwhile, every dog's life counts. Back to you.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. You imagine being Kelly's in the cockpit and she's flying like this because she's got like 8 dogs in there. So all dogs welcome. Okay, Mark, Kelly, thank you. Here are the details for Wags to Witches. Happens Saturday, October 12th, McKinley Park in Sacramento. Starts at 9 a.m. For info on how to register, head over to abc10.com/links.
Thanks for watching ABC10 Tonight. Don't forget, we're here 24/7 on the free ABC10 Plus app. You can get your news and weather anytime, anywhere. I'm Chris Thomas. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Alex Bell. Join me weeknights at 6:30 on To The Point. Instead of just reporting on the problems, we cut through the noise and look for solutions. Join me, Alex Bell, on To The Point, weeknights at 6:30, only on ABC10.